Kitchen Sink Turbo actually ends up just being Rose 10 Synchro. We have Fluffal for you guys, and we have all sorts of other interesting stuff in the top 16 out of the Chalice Slime Monthly. I feel like the 33.8% of you guys have not smashed the living crap out of that subscribe button. Smash it so we can get even further beyond here. Now, the stack ended up losing in top 16, but this is absolutely very important to talk about because one of the best OCG decks that they have running around right now is basically a combination deck that kind of takes advantage of synchroing. And while we don't have O-Line here, it would appear that we can supplement things out here like the Wurbrun. All right. God, I love that name. And of course, you get the Brave package here, so you can kind of set up and supplement things a whole lot easier. Now, we also don't have the stupid, annoying Tomahawk that special summons a bunch of guys, but we do get Dracosack in here. So this is kind of interesting. So we have 2 copies of the Griffin Rider for the Omni Negates. We have triple copies of Ashuna. Do keep in mind this is level 7. That's going to be important. We also have, we also have triple copies of Ashuda, 1 Distrito. This will just get you to a quick synchro, effectively. And then, of course, we're playing 1 Long Yun and 1 copy of Tae here. We have 2 copies of the Rocks Rose Dragon. It is a tuner. That's also going to be important. We have triple copies of Water Enchantress of the Temple, and we have triple copies of Red Rose Dragon. Then we have 2 copies of Ash Blossom, triple Ghost Ogre. I think some of these hand trap ratios need to be polished a little bit. We have the 1 Hoppier Squadron, the 1 Despot, the 2 copies of the Warbler. We have the 2 Arara, triple Right, the 1 Foolish Barrel, the triple Pot, the triple Cosmic, the 1 Called By, the triple E-Telly, the 1 Petal Rose, the 1 Faithful, the 1 Draco Back, and the 1 Blackout. Just quickly looking at this here. So we supplement with our token generation through this to replace the O-Line to bring it off of the Auroradon here. And then you should be able to do the rest of the Synchro package plays and not really get too punished by the downside of this. I think, ladies and gentlemen, this is not bad, at least for a beginning concept for this format. All right. I mean, so the rest of the extra deck here is 1 Monk, 1 Barricade Board Blocker, 1 Hulk, 1 Aurora, 2 Auroradon, 1 Dracosack, the 1 Cupid Pitch for the level modification, 1 Yazi, the 1 Boxia, the 1 Cheezao, the 1 Borrowed Savage, the 1 Chaofeng, the 1 Satellite Warrior, the 1 copy Baron, and the 1 copy of Chang'ing. And then we have triple Nibiru, triple copies of Lancia, 2 Effect Veiler, triple copies of Lightning Storm, 1 Feather Duster, and triple copies of Dark Ruler No More here. Definitely wrapping up what I would say is one of the very earliest builds that you're going to see for basically 10 Synchro, I think would be the more appropriate term for this, because you can tell very loosely that this is based off of those very early spins on the OCG concept here, minus, the very powerful cards that we definitely lack thereof. Next up here is Tri-Brigade Lunalite. Now, yes, Tiger is back, which means that you get access to more Beast Warriors and you can do other things, which gives you access to, Perfume, and of course, one of the dumbest cards in modern era Yu-Gi-Oh! History, called the Foolish Burial Dump Target. That just is like, oh, hey, yo, you want to unload some bad cards out of your hand? Don't mind me. I do see that this build, instead of kind of giving up and just playing this as a little splash engine, we're taking more advantage of a 10-key interaction here and a little bit more interactions for some of the fusions. While I don't think that's necessarily a bad idea in the long run, I'm not super set on this, though I do think that this is an interesting idea to kind of explore here as we go forward, for sure. But once again, I'm not sure how well this will stick, but it's definitely a very interesting place to start nonetheless for this deck. Next up here, everybody's favorite Adventure Phantom Knights. This is some basic stuff. We have the triple utility, 44 cards, by the way. That's interesting. I also see we're maximizing on Ogre as our, is this supposed to be one of our, this is our primary utility target? Okay, no, we still also have Psychic Wielder. Triple Ogre just feels like too much. I feel like we're maybe trying to compensate with larger numbers to kind of brick less because we're fitting in so much of the Brave engine. But at the end of the day, I don't know, that just feels super lackluster. I don't have anything else to really say on this build, unfortunately, but it did make top 16, so that's good. Next up here is, what in the heck is this? This is Dragunity Adventurer. Okay, so the amount of IQ points I have a feeling to decipher all of these combo lines is going to be massively huge, because you have the Gator interactions for synchro climbing, Baby Rock interactions, of course, to sit up and laugh at the opponent. Okay, I unfortunately, every time I look at this deck, I'm never really sure where the combo lines go, but 95% of your combo is usually going to revolve around Romulus setting up so you can do your thing. Outside of that, I'm very happy to see that this deck did do very, very well in this tournament. All right, anytime you can see something like Dragunity kind of come out of the woodwork and kind of put players on tilt, this is genuinely not bad. One thing here that's interesting is you do get more hand traps, I feel like, with this engine, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, because you do get the Gammas and you do get the access to the Ash Blossoms, and then I feel like your combo lines for this deck feel a little bit less bricky, that you kind of have the Adventurer package to back you up. And they'd said that Dragunity never could look good on paper. Yeah, they were massively wrong. Alright, next up here, we have the Virtual World Sword Soul. Wow, this Sword Soul play, this is a lot more extended. A lot of the very early Sword Soul VW list were only like, what, 2 Moe, like 1 Long Yun, and like a combination of Tai. This list is double Moe, so we extended out the package a little bit here to kind of try to reward us. I see we also have the Ecclesias built into this. I know a lot of those earlier lists definitely took a step away from trying to play Ecclesia in this and just view this as a much easier splash engine here. One other thing that you can do with this deck is you can play the Adventurer engine, but I do think that VW with Sword Soul is probably going to be your higher level of consistency. As you can already see, Sword Soul engine's already getting split into 2 decks between, Synchro Turbo Toolbox stuff, and its VW is not letting up on its grasp for this deck whatsoever. And once again, you get some cool options to kind of mess around with here. Next up here is Fluffals! Yes, we are playing the Royal Penguin Garden. On activation, add a Penguin card for a deck to your hand except for Royal Penguin Guard. Once returning to the main phase, you can decrease the level of a Penguin monster in your hand or face up on the field by 1, and then you can discard 1, but we don't care about that. Stupid Fluffal Penguin over here is a penguin. It is, so basically now you have 6 interaction points to get the penguin in your deck. That's pretty good. I see we also have the Golden Lords up here. Do not underestimate Golden Lord's presence in this deck, other than the fact that it's a 35 monster that allows you to clear out the game. Gives you an access point to take care of these stupid toy vendors, so you can get them off the field here, or it's just kill the penguin garden here, so you can recapitalize and make a relatively larger monster for free. You have so many uses for the generic splash built into this deck now. This deck is generically pretty scary to deal with. Yeah, 6 penguins is not something I really want to deal with. Next up here is Sky Striker. Ooh, this is the first Striker list that I've seen do well here, and straight off the bat, we're playing 3 Raigeki. I don't necessarily disagree with this. I mean, when you can take advantage of some free board wiping shenanigans, why would you not want to take advantage of, free real estate, as we're going to call it? This is definitely interesting. I see up here that we have the Fusion Destinies, of course. Hand trap ratios seems pretty standard. Of course, we're still going to play the DP. I mean, it's not that easy to make the Verte machine as much as it once was in here. And I mean, you kind of lost prosperities in here, so you kind of got to draw a little bit better if you were really going down that line. But truthfully, I think that this deck looks very good on paper. This is definitely a little bit more stable. Like I said, you can try the prosperity in here, but I don't know, you're going to be hurting yourself, I feel like, in the long run. And the last list we have for you guys here is basic-ass Tri-Brigade. We're still doing what we do out here. We have still 2 Fusion Destiny. We have the cats, so we can do our thing. We have 2 droplets built into the main deck here. And then we have the Crossout Designated. I forgot Crossout was in the TCG. Holy moly. And I see that we also have Solemn Judgments in here, and all the board-breaking hate in the world. Holy crap. Post-side decking, this deck is going to mop you up off of the floor. That is some very interesting stuff, ladies and gentlemen. So what do you guys think about what's kind of messing around with over here in the metagame? Please leave a comment about how much you guys think. Make sure you guys smash the like, crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. And I'll see your beautiful faces back here later on. There's some more cool awesome content. Peace out, guys. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.